Hello, hello, everyone. It is the start of Marriage Mondays. So, thank you for joining us for our very first live stream together as husband and a wife. For those of you who have not met my husband, this is Brian.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing in cyberspace?
All right, so tonight's topic that we are starting off with is bringing up the past when you are upset. Bringing up the past when you are
Woohoo!
upset. Hello there, Elder Anita. Anyone else, as you're joining us, say hello in the comments, whether you're
Ooh.
joining live or via the replay.
Hey, Elder Anita, how you doing?
All right, so bringing up the past when you're upset. So let me start off by saying I have been guilty. I have not always communicated well. I would bring up stuff that I was still mad about. And what essentially it meant was that I had some unresolved issues. I had not been forthcoming with it. I hadn't talked about it even with myself. So whenever I got upset, it would come up in conversation. Now, as I grew and as I matured, and we could talk about relationship statuses and all that in a minute, but as I grew and as I matured, I learned the importance of communication, but more so than communication, comprehension. So,
Me personally, I don't really play that game because I know it can lead to saying something that you can't take back. Have I done it? Yeah, I've done it. I'm not going to say I haven't, but what I learned is it's better to not do that. And it also show that you haven't forgiven that person. Because if you can say, oh, that's why such and such so and so, that means you still harboring some type of ill feelings toward that person. And plus my defense mechanism is being quiet on you anyway. So I don't have time to talk about your past because I don't want to talk to you anyway. How about that?
the ironic thing is, believe it or not, he and I are a lot alike, and it has taken some getting used to say the least, to for me to deal with the male version of me. And
Oh man, looking at myself like, ooh, that's how I'd be if I was a lady. Oh Jesus.
so, yeah, we have a lot of come to Jesus moments.
Oh man. Oh man.
Hey
Oh
there,
man.
Mother Beverly.
Hey
Thank you
mom.
for joining.
Oh man.
So, what essentially I want to share about this topic, bringing up the past when you're upset, is that you have permission to feel.
Right.
You have permission to be angry. And for those of you who followed our channel, you know about my issues with anger. You also have permission to cry. I saw that face. You also have permission to cry, but don't stay there. And the reason I say you have permission to cry is because, so I won't talk about anybody else but me. As a child, I was taught that crying was equated to weakness. So I learned early on to repress my emotions. I learned not to cry, not to show any emotions, not to let people know what's going on with me. And it was very detrimental to my relationships. God gave us emotions for a reason, and emotions are neither good nor bad. It's what we decide to do with the emotions after the fact. That's where we can make either a good decision or a bad decision. And either way, we've got to deal with the consequences of that decision. It's okay to be angry. And one thing that I learned about anger is like a flashing light. And I say this all the time. It's like
Very
this
well, Rose.
flashing light that lets you know, hey, you need to pay attention. That doesn't mean that anger is wrong. Anger is not bad or good. It's an emotion. Emotions aren't bad or good. But what it is anger lets you know that something requires your attention. And either you decide to give it attention then, or it's going to blow up later on and you're going to be forced to give it attention. So, yes, it's okay to be angry. Yes, it's okay to cry. Crying is not weak. The people that taught me that crying was weak, they lied. Crying allows your body to release the things that we were never designed to carry. So crying, that release of the tears, and I have to say my eyes are sweating because it's even still hard for me to talk about crying and talk about releasing those emotions. But crying allows your body to release things that we were never designed to carry.
I'm finna say something right quick. My wife thinks she on here by herself. It's we together. Together.
Mr. Talkative.
I got something to say. Let me talk. No, but she, with me coming up, especially younger as a male in the Black community, I was definitely taught that crying or showing any type of sensitivity, oh goodness, you are definitely punk material. Um, and I already was a sensitive kid with no help. I didn't need no help to cry. You just look at me and it was on and popping. Tears was flowing. I got older and became passive aggressive. And if anybody know about passive aggressive is you don't say nothing for a long time. But when you say something about it, it's the wrong time and it ain't even about what you mad about. So, being being passive aggressive is not nice because you come off as, oh, you're not arguing if you don't say it. And then soon as that person make you mad and you think about it, yeah, now you on something silly. You on something silly. And being married to a person who call you on your, see, that's the dangers of being married to a pastor. She gonna call me on it like, what? What's wrong? Yeah. So talking it out and really having to face what's going on. My thing is, don't take me around the block just to tell me something. Just go on, tell me, because all that long, see what happened, and you look, just go ahead and punch me in the face so I could go ahead and deal with it. That's just me, And
we are not advocating physical violence.
I'm speaking metaphorically, people. Because if somebody punched me in the face, that's going to be a whole different thing. But I'm just saying, just go ahead and give it to me raw. You ain't got to cook it up or nothing. Just go ahead and slap the meat on the grill.
So I'm going to say this, and I see your comments. Please continue to post your comments. And if you have any specific questions for us, you can go ahead and post those as well. A lot of people don't believe us when we tell them that we do not argue.
We don't.
Tomorrow actually is our anniversary. So tomorrow's our wedding anniversary. It will be 7.
Look, she not telling me. She asking me. You heard the tone, right?
I know when we got married. We got married January 4th, 2015.
All right. Okay, so carry the one.
7 years. It will be 7 years tomorrow.
But it's really been like about 40 years.
Well, yeah, we actually met. For those of you who don't know the story,
we've been together for a nice
we met April 7th, 1990.
So yeah, we've been.
See, I know that date too.
We've been at this party for a long time.
Yeah. So tomorrow's our wedding anniversary, but a lot of people don't believe that we don't argue, and we don't. Many people know that this is neither of our first marriages, not our second marriage either. That'll be another live stream for another day.
That's another discussion.
But yeah, the place where we are in our lives, really, I don't have time for it.
But I don't
have the patience for it either. But we also went through a lot of things to bring us to where we are today.
Because, okay, I'm gonna use my dad saying, I'm gonna talk about me because I won't get mad and leave the church. I came in damaged. Like, I forget damaged. I came in ruined. You just was ruined, boy. You was horrible. The problem was I tried to act like she didn't know that I was damaged. That's the crazy part. So you trying to convince a person who know you and they can look at you and tell that you came from the other side of the tracks, that you don't have no baggage. Oh boy, you don't know how to play charades, do you? Because and we always talk about the residue. And we had to clean up the residue. And it hurt when somebody call you on your mess. But what we call them uncomfortable conversation. And you gotta have them.
Yeah. So even though we don't argue, and I don't know how holy we are,
I ain't gonna say all that, but thank you. Thank you.
But we have had quite a few uncomfortable conversations. They were not arguments. There's no raising the voices. We know each other's triggers.
Go to your corner and come back. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example of trying to be mad at each other. So one day I think I said something off the wall. Maybe I had been in I don't want to talk. So my thing is I could be in the room with you, but I don't have to talk to you. And she don't really like that. That's not really her thing. So she started discovering that, this guy can really sit around me and not talk. So I said something slick, and she grabbed her blanket and pillow and called herself going to another part of the house. I'm going to bed. I said, we going to bed? Because I know you don't think you finna. Oh, we not sleeping in the bed tonight. Okay. So
Yeah.
we going
Early on, I thought I was going to just pick up and go in another room and be good. No, he tried to follow me. That was not what I was expecting at all.
Not doing it. She does the same to me when I call myself being quiet, get this close to me. Are we being quiet today? And I got to talk to her, get on my face. See, I knew he was going to talk to me. Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, so we had some uncomfortable conversations. We also have, and we haven't used it recently, but we have a 10-second rule.
Oh.
And the 10-second rule is you got 10 seconds to be mad.
That's it.
And after that, you need to get your face together because...
No, it's 30 seconds.
30 seconds?
Yeah, because it takes 10 seconds. Ooh, look, she cheating. It's 30 because it going to take me longer than 10 seconds to get myself together.
Okay, 30 seconds. It's been a while.
It's the 30-second rule, and I tell people about that. You know, you're going to have disagreements. It's no way you're going to be with a person and not have some. And it might be something simple like she don't really like sports.
No, not at all.
And I can't convince her.
Well, I can't say I don't like sports. I haven't liked sports since the 1989 Pistons.
She's antiquated.
I am antiquated.
She don't even know none of the Pistons now. She don't know who.
After Rick Mahorn, I was done.
So I can't convince her to like no sports. She might like a team name, like she's a Spartan fan, but that's for obvious reasons. Those that know. And we've had disagreements about what to watch sometimes. And she'll look at me like, we finna watch football.
So I gotta say this. I gotta give him a shout out because I am very particular about the types of things that I can watch. And those of you who sat under my teachings, about protecting your ear gates and your eye gates. Now, when we first got together, it was real difficult because he didn't get it. He thought I was kidding when I talked about, I can't watch certain things. And again, coming from, whether we just look at Black culture or whether we look at society in general, just, he wasn't accustomed to that because in his household, he could watch whatever, listen to whatever.
Oh, man, we was watching, you name it. If it was scary, so if it was this, you just, yeah.
I see that. No wrestling.
No, she wasn't in the WWF or WWE.
I had to start watching wrestling when the kids were little. And for those of you who don't know, we have a blended family. That'll be another session altogether. Whoo, Jesus. I have 5 biological children. He had 5 biological children. He has 3 living children. Unfortunately, he has 2 sons who passed. So we had 10 children collectively together. We have 8 now. But when my kids were little, my daughter, and she knows this story, and I don't think she'll mind me telling it, but my daughter tried a move. And from that point on, wasn't no more wrestling in the house because we can't have the baby girl soufflexing folks. So no wrestling.
No.
All right. So what was the question? Elder Anita asked, do you guys pray together when you have disagreements? How do you transition after the 30-second rule? That's a good question. Yeah, you can go first.
Honestly, and it's too much. It's dead silence. When you have 2 people who I don't gotta talk to you and she had the same attitude, guess me knuckles.
Now I will say we do practice, not letting the sun go down in our anger. We don't go to bed upset. No. We have whatever uncomfortable conversation we need to have. We're not cutting in on my sleep. Sleep is precious to me. I love sleep. I love my dream time. So whatever we do, we need to take care of between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. because after that, I'm done.
Well, after the 30 seconds, usually we discover that it's something. And I'll be honest, a high percentage of the time, it's something simple as not paying attention to details on my end. And I'm learning that when you pay attention to details, that cut down on a lot. And I can't wait to start talking to dudes about that because a lot of dudes don't pay attention to detail. She talk a lot of times without talking. And, if I pay attention to what she's saying silently, I won't have to get the silent treatment, if you know what I mean.
Or the side eye.
Or the looking at me like, oh, you want a hug, Willie? Yeah. And it be one of these kind of hugs like, go to bed. Wait, what? Oh, I must. Okay, let's figure this one out. And we do. We get it. We get it.
So one of the things that I don't like that he does is he always makes me laugh. Like I could be really upset and in my feelings, and he'll do or say something to make me laugh, and it's just like, oh, I can't stand you right now.
Thank you right now. Why you making me laugh? I want to have this face.
But it helps. It helps, and that's a part of us staying, on the up and up.
Oh, side note: it took me a whole year. I bull junk you not to get her to laugh at my material. She would be looking at me like, "Really, sir? There's no need for laughter in this marriage. We don't do that."
And I'll say this: a part of it was because, like he said, he came with baggage. I came with baggage too, and we both kind of worked through. Now, this is not ideal, and I don't suggest this for anybody, but we both kind of worked through our baggage issues together.
Yeah.
And like I said, we both had some baggage. We both had some issues, but it helped knowing what that background was. It helped knowing, and part of what we did was we established early on what our triggers were.
Yeah.
We established what the non-negotiables are.
Yeah.
He had some non-negotiables that I had to work on because that was my go-to.
Right.
And it goes back to love languages. And if you don't know about the 5 love languages, if you're in any relationship, even if you're a parent with children, whether you have adult children or small children, or if you're in a relationship with anybody, this could be parent to child or siblings or anything, you need to know their love languages. And, understanding that helped me to not cross that line in the sand and not violate his non-negotiables. So just so you know that we know each other's love languages, here's his words of affirmation.
So look, we tore up a lot of contracts. Nope. I don't like that one. Come on back to the table.
What's my love language?
What? Acts of doing something, cleaning up.
It's acts of service.
Listen, I learned it so quickly though, because I clean up or something, she'd come in and smell the aroma of cleaning. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it like that. And her smile will be so beautiful, like, oh.
Thank you for saying that, Elder Anita.
What's that?
She says, I think I will need some duct tape when I get married.
Oh.
So speaking of which, one of the books, and I'll say probably 2023, the first book that we're actually going to write together is called Duct Tape and Plaster.
That's going to be a bad motor scooter.
This is something, we actually decided on the name of it, First Year of Marriage.
Yeah.
It was first year of marriage. And it was because, so I'll just tell the story like this. He can say and admit to what he wants to. But he came into our marriage with a female best friend. And I am the type of person that will not tell you what you need to know. I will help you to discover.
She will help you navigate
what you need
through
to
the
know.
Waters of you about to drown, boy.
Right. So
that's
early on, we figured out, okay, we cannot afford to have any chinks. We can't afford to have any cracks in like no holes in the plaster in the walls and nothing else. And my mama loved duct tape. If I go in her house now, she probably got 12 different rolls of duct tape in all different colors, red, black, camouflage, things you wouldn't even think they would make. She has duct tape in those colors. So duct tape and plaster is a saying that we came up with because we cannot allow the enemy to get any room in our relationship, because as soon as he gets that little tiny crack,
all he needs is
that's all he needs. So we got the plaster and we smoothing over it, or we got the duct tape that's going to repair, because duct tape can hold anything.
I respect this woman right here, because she could easily listen. Okay, mama, I know you online, so you gotta hear this one. You're gonna be like, yep, my mama is the queen of verbal assault. Your face will melt if my mama started her verbal onslaught. I did not think I would meet a woman who was on that level. I'm so glad she calmed down, because the first couple of years,
saved for real.
Them first couple of years, I was like, You can say that? No, I didn't know that was a sentence. That's all. But you learn the more you around. So with the whole best friend thing, it took a person who wanted to be real with me, because I've been doing this a nice little, and my thing was we was gonna always be friends, and she ain't debated, she ain't argued, but okay. Then she just started pointing out a little, oh yeah, well look at that, oh yeah, well check that out, oh yeah, well, and the more I was taking notes, like she might be on to something, and needless to say, we no longer friends now, and we ain't had no big
and not
friend
because I told
breakup.
him you can't have a female best friend.
No, she didn't say I could. But look though, she didn't say I couldn't, but she made it obvious wasn't gonna be no hanging out with her. I don't know.
What I did was I just allowed him to see.
She used the word.
I allowed him to develop his sense of discernment.
She lets me. She lets me. No. But
you figured it out.
Sometimes you just gotta let a person see.
If you listen to somebody long enough, they will tell on themselves.
Yeah, she told.
So if somebody is not
on herself
100%, if they're not being honest, if they're not being upfront, if you listen long enough, they will tell on themselves, and that's what happened.
And getting back on the bringing up the past, I can honestly say we don't do that.
No.
Let me wait on. No, we don't, because we know what comes with that. Because what ends up happening, it turned into a verbal jousting. Now, that's what we doing. We okay. Well,
but like I said in the beginning, I only did it because it was unresolved issues. If we are steadily having those uncomfortable conversations, if we're steadily bringing things to each other's attention, and again, keeping that short record, I'm not going to allow this to go into the next day. We need to deal with this now, so there's no residue remaining, and we can start the next day fresh with a clean slate. So I did it in the past because of unresolved issues, but if you maintain the fact that, okay, I'm going to keep this blank slate, I'm going to take it to my spouse, I'm going to discuss it and pray about it and give it to God and walk away from it. The issue a lot of people have is they don't know how to let stuff go. They don't know how to walk away from stuff. They just hold on to it because I guess they think they can handle it better than God. I don't know.
Here's the key to the whole thing, watch this. What are you building your foundation on? Because if you're in a marriage, if you married somebody, you're not really trying to build your relationship on Christ. It's you don't that willpower of not arguing or not saying this and that's not gonna last. We came to the conclusion that, hey, all right, sidebar. This woman hit me with something that made me shut up for about 3 days. Nobody never shut me up for 3 days, folks. She said, yeah, I'm following your lead. And then she hit me with the first, that was the body blow. Pow! The overhand right was, who you following? No, I'm not talking right now. I'm going ahead and get myself together, because now she put me in a position where, this woman basically telling me that she can be a submissive wife according to biblical principles. Not how dudes be like, you better listen to me because I'm the man. Not that submissive. This is how the Lord told me to be towards my husband submissive. She gave me so much to think about. I ain't have nothing to say for 3 days. Because I had to go think. I had to become a grown man. Not a man, because, whatever, a grown man. And I can't say how I want to say it because we on Vision International News Channel. But when she hit me with that was, now you got to become a grown man, Brian. And what you gonna do? And after that, it was like, okay, all right, she not playing. She grown. And that was I think she saw it too. That was the marriage swear. It's kind of shifted, like, ooh, she not playing. And then I know who her daddy is. When she finna go in her prayer clause, I get like, wait, come on, let's just argue about it. Don't go talk to God. Because I know what's gonna happen. So it changed the game when you understand. So that foundation, what you building on, that helps a lot.
So thank you guys for joining us for our first Marriage Monday. If you have any topics that you want us to discuss, or you have any questions that you want us to answer, we're going to keep it raw and uncut. We're going to answer your questions openly and honestly. Just drop it in the comments if you want us to discuss a specific topic, we'll try and incorporate it into the lineup because we do have several topics already jotted down for us to be able to share. So for Marriage Mondays, we'll see you next week.
Wait. Oh, we got the remix. Just another marriage.
See you next time.
All right, guys. Love you.
Love you.